All right, so I'm gonna do a general overview from what I can remember from Sakamoto days. So yeah, I want to talk about a different topic in Shonen Jump other than Black Clover. Another manga that I really like and I really hope will be continuing to be published is Sakamoto days. It seems like it's getting a lot of popularity, so that's good for it. Um, One thing that I like about it is the battle scenes. The battle scenes are really cool. But first, let me get into the premise. So I guess the premise is basically that in the Sakamoto Days world, there's an organization full of assassins that be hired to do commissions to to pull out these hits. And among all the assassins, there's this one assassin that was, I guess you could say, the greatest. I wouldn't say the greatest of all time, but he was like the greatest in his era, and that was Sakamoto. So like Sakamoto would never he would never let his target get away, and he wouldn't ever get caught slipping. So like Sakamoto would just casually just do what he has to do, without a sweat. Which why I think in the manga he was called the Legendary Hunter, or no, not Hunter, but the Legendary Assassin. So because of that, Sakamoto was like very like known within the assassin organization, or I guess in the future it was, or later in the series it was called the JAA. But then one day he just decided to stop it all and leave it all behind because he found a woman that he loved. And then for that, he put all the assassination thing behind him, got married, had a kid, and then let go of himself. But I guess in a good way, cause like because he let go of the of his old habits with the assassination, he really didn't need to keep in shape. Cause I mean, like even though he wasn't in shape, we see in the story that he he's still a badass, even without without his physique. So yeah, so now the first chapter kind of starts off with Sakamoto Days, running his own convenience store with his wife and child, just doing regular things. And we see, it kind of have like kind of get like a comic tendency because I think in the first chapter like someone was like mouthing off to him or one of his family members, and like we should see him like just straight up like murdering this dude with like basic grocery utensils like a pen and like other stuff. But like that was just only with his imagination, because I think someone had pissed him off. But either way, Sakamoto was just minding his day, doing his thing, being a uh grocery store clerk. And then this kid with blonde hair comes in, who is named as Shin. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just saying this based off memory, but I think he was also in the JA, and he was assigned to murder Sakamoto because he left the organization. And, we kind of get like a back and forth between Sakamoto and Shin, because Sakamoto didn't really take Shin seriously with him trying to assassinate him. And in actuality, Sakamoto actually remembers Shin. Like Sakamoto, I guess he was real acquainted with Shin back in the day, because Shin is kind of like he's still like a runner up. Like I want to say he's an apprentice, but like he's still someone like kind of like in training to become a good assassin. And so I guess that's why he took the job in order to prove himself, that he can be a good assassin by trying to assassinate Sakamoto. But either way, they kind of had this back and forth, and like with Shin and Sakamoto, like gag duo is that Shin can he has the psychic ability to read people's thoughts, and because of that, Sakamoto tend to just like subconsciously just like have thoughts of just killing people. And then like Shin would just like have that immediately ran through his head, and he would see like Sakamoto like just murdering him. And I thought that shit would be funny. Cause it like literally like, Sakamoto can lose this shit in Shin if he wanted to anytime. But so Sakamoto put that past behind him. Either way, the first chapter started off with first Shin trying to take him out. But Shin really didn't want to do that. I don't think that was ever Shin's intention to really take out Sakamoto. Because I think in the first chapter he was trying to warn him that the JAA was trying to take him out because he left the organization. So yeah, it started off with that. Then some other assassins, fodder assassins, was hired to take him out. Sakamoto, I'm trying to remember. Was his family abducted in the first chapter? I can't remember, but Sakamoto, I think they were, because he had to go to the place where the assassins were at, and then he took them all out non-lethally. Like I think it was non-lethally, because that's the one thing that he does now, because he married his wife. He had to make a promise to her to never kill again. So yeah, so I think he took him out non-lethally, and like the coolest thing about it was that he did it with just like grocery utensils, with like pins. um, I think he did it with like a card or something. What else too? But like just basically like Sakamoto still that man. Like he's still the assassin. Like that's the best thing about him. Why he was the best assassin is that he can use anything in his surroundings as a tool of like of lethal weaponry. But I guess in this case this was non-lethal because he wasn't gonna kill anyone. But like that would make Sakamoto the best Sakamoto the best man because he can use anything and adapt to anything in his environment. But either way, that's how the first chapter went. We get a cool introduction of this guy named Sakamoto, what he did in the past, what he is now, and what he's trying to, do for the rest of his life. Just chill at his, small little convenience store with his wife and child. So cool. As the story go by, we get more characters, we get a little bit of more of his history, we get introduced to, to the JAA, the organization that raised him to be an assassin, and like all that is just cool because we see like this organization like as crazy this is, even though the organization like the JA organization, we see that it's an organization that's literally just a bit like a commission organization. Like they get a call of anyone that want to make a hit, and they dispatch anyone their assassin to do the hit. And like I should find it crazy, or actually I find it cool how the author did that. How he kind of put like because that's like a hidden organization within the world. Like the organization is like literally it's like based off that. Like there's a hidden organization of like people who take calls of putting of accepting hits on people, and they literally have trained assassins like in their company to do that. It's like the JAA, it's like very well what's the word I'm looking for? They are very well what's the word? It's not finance. They are finance, but they've been like invested. Cause like they have their own like school to teach assassins. Cause that's how Sakamoto got teach. He got taught in a school, to be an assassin. And like this is like a very well thought out organization and everything. But like throughout the arcs, I think all the arcs are pretty good. I want to say maybe my favorite arc was when those five prisoners got released. The one that was released by Slur. Slur is now like the current antagonist of the story. I get to him later, but like I think that's my favorite arc because it shows like each character getting their own little like level up. But before I start with that, in the beginning when they had the three main characters like Sakamoto, Shin, and I forgot the other chick name, but Leifon. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure that's not her name. But it was this other chick. She was like kind of like Chinese, kind of like a Chinese heritage. Like her family had like a lot of like treasury and stuff. But she came from also a wealth famous family too. But like those trio was who we was basically focusing on, and in the beginning it was kind of giving me Gintama vibes, but it had more serious notes or more serious points in the story than Gintama. Now don't get me wrong, I love Gintama. I didn't read the manga, I watched all the anime, and I can say for certain that Gintama is one of my top 10 just because of how funny it is. But they also keep it serious when it needs to be. But at the same time, Sakamoto is more serious, when it comes to like the story. And to me, I say that in the beginning, Sakamoto was really giving me off that Gintama vibes, and that's why I kind of stick to it because it was giving off the like you had the old veteran that that kind of wants to chill, and then you have the new kid that wants to become what the veteran was, a really good assassin, just like what Shin wanted to be. Shin wanted to be a really well, it's funny because in Sakamoto days his name is Shin, and in Gintama that's the character who kind of wants to be like a samurai, and he follows around Gintama or Gintoki, and Gintoki was a samurai, and the kid name is Shinpachi, and I think that's funny. Like I don't know if that was based off of if that was Shin was based to be referenced off of Shinpachi, but either way, I just thought that was funny. And then you have the female counterpart, um, which is I forgot her name, but the female counterpart was also like in the story for like the good half. I mean, she is still part of the main story. It's just she kind of becomes irrelevant because of what's going on now. But like in Sakamoto days, the female counterpart is kind of just like Kagura. But like they all their own characters. Like even though Sakamoto, Shin, kind of like feels the same as Shinpachi and Gintoki. They're all their own characters, which is why I like it so much. Like even though they're all their own characters, it really give me vibes of like those three characters in Gintama, which is why I like it so much. But either way, that's what I liked about it in the beginning. That's why I kept reading it because it kind of gave out those vibes. But like I say, they're all each their own characters. And let me go back to what I was going to about my favorite arc, the arc about those five prisoners. Because what I like about it is not only did we get basically like a level up from Shin and Sakamoto and the other chick, but we also get to see the top three members. I want to say half of the top three members of the JAA go off, and I want to say I want to say my favorite character in the JAA organization is off the top Nagamoto, because like Nagamoto he was actually introduced earlier before the JAA was even brought up, but like Nagamoto is actually good friends with Sakamoto, so that's why like Nagamoto he be appearing sometimes by himself, and like Nagamoto even though he's hired or he works for the JAA, I think Nagamoto was one that told him that he was actually getting a hit put on Sakamoto. But either way, Nagamoto and Sakamoto they good friends, and so that's why Nagamoto he was just him by himself. He would just go out, just Mr. Sakamoto, because like even though he's a killer and he has a job to do, he really doesn't like he really wouldn't go out his way to kill Sakamoto because he good friends with him. So, but like other than that, I like Nakamoto because like he has a really good like character to him. He has a really funny personality. But like when they gets to fighting, like he gets real serious, and I think that's the other thing I like about that art, cause like we get to see his moves or his abilities, and he gets like this he wields like what's it called? Is it a utility knife? It's it's not like a pocket knife. It's that thing I forgot what it's called. I think it's called a utility something, but it's that thing where like it has like it's this handheld thing, and they got like these multiple different type of tools. Like if you need a knife, you have that. If you need like something to like screw something off and on, you have that. Bottle cap opener. It's like all that in one. But he has it that in like the size of like a damn gun. And like I just thought that shit was so cool. Like the concept of him having something like that, like a utility I forgot what it's called. I think it's called utility knife, but utility tool. But like but twice or three, four times the size of that. And like when they showed it off, like against that one prisoner, like I thought that was the coolest shit. And other thing he can do, his ability is that he's a really good whatchamacallit? He's a really good damn what's the word I'm looking for? But he's really good at like taking on the appearance of others. Because like he was first introduced, I believe he was first introduced as disguising himself as Sakamoto's wife. And side note, Sakamoto has already like figured out as soon as Nakamoto did that. But yeah, but that's his niche is that he can disguise to other people. And so because of that, like Nakamoto can really like do infiltration and whatnot. But either way, like when the story introduced off his ability with that like utility thing, like bro, I thought that was the coolest shit ever. Cause like I can't really think of. I mean, this may be not something that only Sakamoto had did, but I think that's the only person that's seen that ever like had a weapon like that. But either way, Nagamoto is like one of my favorite characters in JA. I think the second one may be the long haired dude who just has like nothing but nothing but a hammer on him. And then the third one is Takamura, the JA, like I guess you can say like supernatural phenomenon. The dude who wields a katana, the really old man. Cause that dude go crazy. But yeah, I think those are my top three characters in JA Force. But yeah, that's my favorite arc because like out of all the prisoners, I think all of them died except for one, and that was the top three dude, or just the top dude in general, the dude with the strings. Um, his backstory was all right. I just like his character design, and I like his ability. He had like these strings, and he was like really going crazy with it. I know in the end he didn't get killed. He was kind of like, I want to say he was like brought upon the group, but he was accepted into the group. I don't know if he actually did stay with them because he's a prisoner. But either way, he was a really cool character. After they defeat him and whatnot. But after that, like after that whole fiasco, we get more info about the main antagonist Slur and like that whole story behind them when they get into Sakamoto Pass with Nagamoto and the other main people. Because like when they went into like the past, like Sakamoto still in JAA. It was like this mini pass art where they show Sakamoto, Nagamoto, or Nagato. I think that's his name. You can correct me. But Sakamoto, Nagamoto, and this other chick who were like the top three in the JAA during their time, and show what transpires and whatnot because they had a mission with the antagonist, a Slur, who was back in the JAA back then, and like that whole story is in a whole it's just a whole other thing that I want to review. But I basically want to go over, the overview. I like the story a lot. I really do like where it's going. I hope it's continues because right now it seems like that we're getting like the huge conflict between JAA and the Slur Gang, and including Sakamoto, who is kind of like the third party. But I like all the characters. All the characters they introduce are really good characters. My favorite character is Shin. Second to that is Nagato or Nagamoto. Third is Sakamoto. But yeah, I think it's a good story overall. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I really do like the art. I like the dynamic of the fights and whatnot, and how intricate and how creative the author can get. This may be something like just a personal preference. I hope that the art just overall like gets just better. Like that's just me nitpicking. But when I mean better, I mean like like the design itself. Like, cause sometimes the characters in certain angles they do look like a bit weird, like just like proportionate wise. Like overall the art is good, but I think proportion wise I think it could be better. But that's just me. But either way, I like the art overall. Story in the whole, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I can't wait for any more story to come up with. But other than that, yeah, I really do like Sakamoto Days. And another manga that I recommend is Mama Yu Yu. Mama Yu Yu is also a good story. All right, so